Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 129th episode of Don't Forget the Popcorn. It's Pride Month, one of my favorite months of the year. Not because I'm gay, but because I love watching some of the amazing queer cinema we've been blessed with over the years. Some of my favorite movies are queer movies. They show some of the most emotionally gripping stories that just touch you, whether you are queer or not. So I haven't seen them all, but I've seen a lot of them from different countries and time periods. Last year, I did the top 25 best LGBT movies of all time with some honorable mentions. I'll link that below if you want to check that out. This year, I wanted to give you another list. This is 10 of the most underrated queer movies. At least I think they are. If there are some underrated queer movies you think I should check out, comment them below. There is no order to this, just 10 movies I think you'd like to watch this Pride Month. So let's get into the most underrated queer movies. Breakfast on Pluto, 2005, directed by Neil Jordan. A fun life journey movie about a gay man in the 70s who is exploring his sexuality and who he really is as he encounters new people in his life. Cillian Murphy gives a brilliant performance, showing us a side of him you don't get to see often. It shows us a layered story about a man who is changing every day and changing the people around him. Make sure you watch this month if you haven't. The Boys in the Band, 1970, directed by William Friedkin. One of the greats by one of the greats. Rest in peace, William Friedkin. He was incredible. This movie is about a group of queer friends who come over for a birthday dinner, and a lot of discussions and hard truths come out. It's a fun, simple film in one setting, but somehow elevates that to give us a riveting drama about friends trying to survive and live in a time where things weren't so great for gays. I love this movie, and I think it still holds up really nice today. My Beautiful Laundrette, 1985, directed by Stephen Frears. A fun one from the UK, starring the GOAT, Daniel Day-Lewis, in a young role. A white guy and an Indian guy run a laundromat together and slowly fall in love. They each have to deal with their own prejudices from their own groups while coming to terms with their own sexuality. This film is very sweet and funny, even in some of the darkest moments. The chemistry between the two leads is incredible. It's a nice way to see how things were handled across the pond. Anyone can get on board with this one. Headwig and the Angry Inch, 2001, directed by John Cameron Mitchell. An interesting and touching musical about a German man living in Kansas who had a botched sex change operation. The director gives a great performance as the lead. This movie is funny yet heartbreaking, and the way you see this person changing and going through things. Hedwig was a strong and relatable character, not because of what they are going through, but because of who they are and how human they are. This may not be for you, but I'd at least give it a chance. Young Hearts, 2024, directed by Anthony Shatman. Although it's very new, I had to include it because this movie just isn't being talked about enough. Young Hearts is a coming of age story about two Dutch boys finding love at a very young age. This movie was such a sweet and joyous ride as we root for these two boys trying to navigate the complexities of growing up different. I was blown away by this movie, and out of all the movies on this list, I think this is one most people will be able to get on board with. Seek this out this Pride Month. You will not be disappointed. Pain and Glory, 2019, directed by Pedro Almodovar. Almodovar is one of the best to ever do it, giving us one of the best queer movies of all time, All About My Mother, in 1999. This newer film that did have a splash when it was released is about a queer filmmaker who is living his life trying to get over an old lover while making his way back into the film industry. We get maybe Antonio Banderas' best performance in this movie, playing a vulnerable and quiet man struggling with the choices made in his life. I couldn't recommend this one more. The Teen Apocalypse Trilogy, 1993 to 1997, directed by Greg Araki. So I kinda cheated here and put a trilogy of movies together. They are Totally Fucked Up, 1993, The Doom Generation, 1995, and Nowhere, 1997. These three films explore sexuality from the teen perspective in Greg Araki's own twisted little way. They are packed with style and fun dialogue, lots of conversations I would think young queer people would have, and they show a lot of the darkness that can come to that community in the 90s. These are some more art house movies, but if you are a queer cinema fan, these are a must watch. Femme, 2023, directed by Sam H. Freeman and Nong Choon Ping. This movie stirred a lot of emotions in me for a lot of different reasons, which I'm obviously not going to talk about now. But this movie is layered and thematically rich. It's about a young drag queen who is victim of a hate charged attack. He later seeks revenge on one of the attackers. This is one hell of a movie and one that will make you think. It pulls you in and holds you tight until the end as you see this complex and layered story unfold in front of you. I highly suggest this one. It's one of the best on this list. Pariah, 2011, directed by Dee Reese. I'm sad I didn't see this upon release. This is one of the best coming of age queer stories, and it's not only from the black community, but from the more butch perspective. This movie is about a young 17-year-old girl in New York who is trying to hone in on her sexuality while dealing with her overprotective, conservative mother. It's got everything you want in a good queer film: love, conflict, and a solution. This movie's magic lies in its simplicities and subtleties. Nothing is overdone, yet it speaks so loudly. I have to think Barry Jenkins was watching this, prepping for Moonlight. Desert Hearts, 1985, directed by Donna Deitch. Anyone who knows me knows I love queer movies and Vegas movies. Well, this isn't a Vegas movie. It's Reno, but close enough. This film was about a woman in 1959 who is getting a divorce and has to stay in Reno until she gets her divorce decree. While staying on a ranch, she falls for the owner's daughter, causing some issues. The best thing about this movie is the chemistry between the leads. These ladies were polar opposites, but you can see why it works and that opposites really do attract. Watching them fight the world and each other for their love is an honest and fun ride. This should be watched every June without question. Guys, thank you so much for watching my underrated queer movies. Let me know if there's a film or topic you'd like me to review. Let me know if there's a queer movie you think I should watch. Like and subscribe. Help me hit my goal. Will be much appreciated. Follow me on Letterboxd, Ralph Vader. I'll link that below. I got a podcast with my buddy, The Cutting Room Floor. I'll link that below for more movie content. I'll be back next week. And don't forget the popcorn.